Hey up YouTubers, Simon B here, welcome back to the channel. Hope you're all keeping safe out there. As we said a couple of videos ago, when we did a bit of a review on the new bike, the new bobber, we're going to fit the COC custom seat conversion. This is the COC custom seat conversion. It's a long name that, isn't it? All the way from Australia. Apparently it's a game changer on this thing. Like I said in the last video, you pay the price, there's no duty, there's no VAT to pay. The price is the price, and it gets sent and it turns up in a lovely box like this. Everything is all sealed up. I haven't even opened it yet. I've took the instructions out, read the instructions. Relatively easy. A couple of spanners, it's all you really need. And a screwdriver to put the Jubilee clip on. So nothing major. Most of you can do out there. I don't know if I might do it. It might be step by step. I don't know. We'll see what it goes like. We'll put it together and see how it goes. So, if you fancy knowing anything about this custom COC conversion seat, conversion, whatever you want to call it, as they say, stick around and stay tuned.
Like and subscribe.
So hopefully it's not going to be too difficult to film this, because it's a little bit thing. I've got camera there, I've got camera up here, and hopefully I'm showing what you need to do. Relatively easy. There's only 5 bolts that you need to undo. 4 need to tighten back up. 1 doesn't get used again. So it is relatively sort of straightforward. What I've done, I've took all the wiring out for the seat. So what you need to do is basically take the seat off. We're going to remove the carrier that's underneath and change it for the one that's been supplied. Relatively straightforward. T50. This is a 17 plate with a small tank. So anything that's, I think the bigger tank, you'll need to undo the 2 bolts, lift it up to get to this bolt that's here. And then just undo each side. I don't know if the front one's connected to the seat itself. Yes, it is. So to get the whole thing off, you need to take that out anyway. And then you end up replacing this with a Nylox. Put a Nylox nut on it so it goes back in, but it's just for show because you don't use it anymore. Keep it in a safe place. Whatever dog and barky sell. I think I've showed you this one before, isn't it? AC Delco, 1/4 inch electric ratchet, really. Just makes life a little bit easier. All the same size. And then that comes off. That's the plate that we're going to change. A bit bogging this seat. I think I saw, who was it? Del Boy's garage. I think he took his to bits, didn't he? And he sprayed that with black. Yeah, the underside of that's a bit bogging, isn't it? So we'll just put that to one side, because the first thing you need to do, this bush apparently doesn't want to come out. Need some grease on it. Ooh, it's stiff is that one, isn't it? Throw it on the floor side. The instructions that come with it are really, really good. They've got pictures and words. So yeah, the first thing you need to do is to put a smear of grease on there and insert that back in there. But what I'm going to do, it's a little bit dirty-ish. I'm going to put a bit of Scotch-Brite on it, clean it up, because this bush that will go back in here would allow the seat to pivot slightly on the spring. That's why I need to lube it up. I don't really know why there's one there anyway, really, because beforehand it wouldn't have moved, would it? Another tool for the garage that we bought the other week, a little small grease gun. you don't really need a big grease gun for doing motorcycles and stuff like that. And then you have a tub, and then you always got to get that lid off it and do everything. I saw these. Apparently they use them in mountain bike shops and things like that. So you pack it full of grease, and it's got a plunger, and it just comes out in a little bit. So rather good. 80 cc's of grease in it, which is not bad, and it's always clean. You know, putting your spindles back in and greasing that little thing, you just need a little bit of a squirt, and it's always, you know, got grease everywhere. I'll put a link down below. I'll probably put an affiliated link on it. Real bit of kit for the garage. All you've got to do is get dessert, a teaspoon, and fill the whole thing up, and then screw the top on it, and it works off vacuum off the bottom like a normal grease gun does, and press the end of it and grease comes out the top. It's great. I'll put a link. Better get yourself one. The thing we haven't done yet, I don't even unpack this. Can't beat an unboxing, can you? But this is how it comes. Like I say, we've just taken out the foam stuff. That's the mount for the spring, including the Jubilee clip that goes around. It's all pre-bent, everything's there for that. I think that Nylox is for that underneath. I'm sure it is with the washer. I'll just make sure. All the springs, everything comes with it. And the bump stops. The two bump stops there, one slightly smaller than the other bump stop. Depending what sort of weight you are. But yeah, that's the spring kit. You know, it's all lovely packaged up. It's all hand put together and all handmade in Australia. That's good, you can hardly get in it. And that's the plate that you get with it. Now I've said to him that I would like my seat at the front, not at the back, because I think this is slightly different, or that elongation is somewhere different. It's done. It has the indent in the bottom for the spring, and it has the two fitting connections that allows that to spring, and it fits, as you say, as you would think, perfectly in where it should go. So the second step is to put the nut back into the top with the Nylox nut supplied, and it's just for aesthetic purposes, and so you're not ended up with a hole in your frame. There is a washer in there that's supplied. Don't use it yet because it needs to go on this side to allow the thing to move, so keep that washer safe because it goes somewhere else. So that's step number 2. Put the Nylox back with a nut into the top for aesthetic. I think that only goes back in because there'll be a hole there, and we don't want that. So third step number 3 is take your old seat bracket off the bottom of the seat, because that is no longer needed. While we're just off camera then, I've just got a bit of Scotch-Brite out and give that a bit of a wipe and a bit of ACF 50. What I'll probably do is take this all apart and possibly go and get it vapor blasted and get it cleaned up again, because like I say, this thing was never really, hasn't really been looked after very well. So the supplied hinge needs to go back on the seat. And what I'm going to do, I'm not going to tighten it really tight, because I don't know where the seat, I want the seat to be, because I might need to adjust it slightly when we get it on. It's going to be somewhere around about there, because that's on the front setting. So this kit basically comes with everything. So this is the mount that goes onto the shock here, which the spring sits into. The Jubilee clip that comes manufactured in a way that it's already got the flat bit to go on the bracket itself, which is nice. So you sit this in place for a bit of a dry run. It's got sticky on the back of it, but we're not going to take that off at the moment, and it already has an indentation, you should better see, that needs to go on the back, because that fits on the lip of the shock itself. Usually Jubilee clips are 7mm, but for some reason this one's 8. Must be because it's Australian, I don't know. Every one I've usually done is 7mm. Have a bit of a dry run with it. Make sure that it's in the position where it should be. So what I need to do now is basically clean the area that the stick is going to go onto with the grease and grime and everything else around it. Use a clean bit of rag to clean that off, because if you have an old oily rag, you're only going to put oil back onto it and the sticky's not going to stick. You only get one go at this apparently, because it must be very sticky. So what I would probably recommend is put the Jubilee clip on first, so you're not going to disturb anything. Then what we're going to do, we're going to take the sticky backing off the sticky, like that. And you're only going to get one go at this apparently. It only goes in one place really, and it wants to be sat square on top. Then you can bring your Jubilee clip back over, get it on a couple of turns and then turn him round. I'm not tightening it completely tight at the moment. So that's now stuck on to the original shock, or the Fox shock. Apparently this one fits. If you've got the upgrade, you need a different one. So Michael here from Custom Seats has put a handwritten thing on it saying try springs number 2 and see how that feels. So they're all marked up. So we've got number 2 here. It must have its own bump stop as well. So that fits onto there with the internal spring, including a bump stop. So when you put the seat back on, the left hand side has a washer, and you grease between the washer and the nut and the washer and the bike, and then you put Loctite on the thread inside, because it does it the opposite way around. So anyway, that's what it says in the instructions, so we'll just follow them. It's all a bit weird, that, isn't it? It sits up a bit high, doesn't it? After a little bit of fettling off camera, get a little bit complicated, sort of bamboozled me in a little way. And I realised I've got it on the paddock stand. So the paddock stand isn't really, it's like a normal paddock stand. These sit quite low. So I've just taken it off the paddock stand, and it's better, because I thought the seat was just sitting up too much. I thought, have I done something wrong? Has something happened? But anyway, we haven't. We're going to try mainspring forward with spring number 1. I know Michael recommended number 2, but it just seemed a little bit hard. So what happens is that you've got the replacement bar with the indentation in for the spring, and you have the slider on it that you can put to front or back. What comes with that is that you have your mainspring, and you have 3 other springs that go with your mainspring, but then you have 4 bump stops. You have a bump stop for the spring only on the rear, which has an R on it, and you have a bump stop for the spring only with an F on it, which is front. So it depends on whereabouts you've got your seat at. Then you have 3 different springs, which are shaped like this. So we've got number 1 in. He did recommend number 2, but it just seemed a little bit too much. And then between that, you have another 2 bump stops, which you have front and rear, because they go inside that small spring. Ah. So when you get it all together, it sort of like makes sort of sense. It had me looking at the bike with it on the paddock stand, and the seats like that. Even sat on it, it was like that, and I thought, something not right here. Something right. So anyway, took it off the stand, sat it down. It now sits where it should do. Relatively easy to do, and I believe it's game changing. What you need to do now is, I've got number 1 spring in. He did recommend number 2, so I'm going to ride it, see what it's like. Try number 2 in it, and then try number 3 in it. See which one you prefer. Depends how probably bad your roads, how many potholes you've got. and on your weight. Keep all the bits in a safe place. Tighten up the right hand side, you can do that tight. The left hand side needs Loctite on it, but at the moment you probably don't really need to do with it. Grease the washer and grease the nut, grease each side of the washer as it goes in. You don't have to really tighten that much up tight because that washer allows it to move. Once you've got the correct spring in it and you're happy with the way it's positioned and everything like that, you can take that one out, put the Loctite onto it and tighten it up. But it doesn't need to be that tight because that's Loctite in it just to stop it coming up. All it is using it for a pivot. So we're there now, so I'm happy. I was getting a bit anxious before. I thought, oh dear. Anyway, if you thought that video was well, I won't say entertaining. If you thought that video was informative, and it filled your need for information, please give it a big thumbs up. Thanks very much. It's a relatively cheap way of transforming your drive bobber, really. What, 130 quid? I think that's all it was. It's nothing, but it's a fair piece of kit. Comes lovely boxed. All the instructions are there. Dead easy to do. So yeah, here's a big thumbs up. Like I said, if you just stumbled across this, please consider subscribing. Hopefully this bike will be stopping. I am in negotiations at the moment looking for another one. Not one of these, something else. It's the beginning of April. I think it's the 4th weekend. This weekend's supposed to be glorious. Don't forget. So if you're riding out there, don't forget, ride safe, be safe, keep safe. And as they say, we'll see you soon.
Like and subscribe.